Hola so. Singa yu na, go do ai. Oh yeah. That's any Chinaba Tamala, any shopa delays, any tashi delay. Tambote shui, any good morning everyone. Tatring at you ni tamake any don't something and yamli de. Any jojo yuri. Any dela tambo at you or bag chua in Any day you didn't mara, any double targing, double targing maritada, Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa Sonchi, Niba de la Xie, Sumba de la Sanchu, Saint Dombanyam Jesse, Yeba de la Mame Molam Xie, Ngaba de la any menda, that in yo, or the Chita Karsangachu, or tablet in the say, teach it, the sin instead.
So we'll have the last session of our retreat today. We'll begin with the ritual of Buddha Amitabha, accomplishment of Sukhavati practice. Then we'll go on with the precious garland of the Supreme Path. And then followed by that, we'll do the Butterlamp prayer.
Bodhisattva vows.
We'll take the Bodhisattva vows, and then the Butterlamp prayer, and then offering of mandala and long life prayer at the end.
Hola so, anything to share, that ring at you choose de Mambo Melishene. Any Mandoya, any thing to Tane. Any Obag Chua, Dubachu Mando wins. And it lay the turning the Andang that in the sin of beauty.
I won't talk much. We'll go into our practice of Buddha Amitabha this morning in a brief form. I'll give you the page numbers.
Okay. Can you show the text? Oi, nausea, nam daya, ram jia, lende, pia, da jia, so jia, xin ai, jiu bai, san jia, jia dai, gen de, om bai, bian, cui, gong lai, san zai, da jia, da xie, xiu, de mi jar boy za de 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 gon chan be jin ba ge da ba dan ba gong la ya gong ba ja ji zha ba jin pen bo ya dan ba za da ya ba dan de sim jin a tam chi la gong da ba ba yi zan ze ba za ra zha ba de jin zan tu bu da xie ban pe wan de wai xie ba jie lai shang cai long Jiang bai jun de ba de do jian zhen jie le ai ze wan gong bo shan bei ba ca ye nian bo zhe bai nan bai xin nan hui nian bo pan jiu gen de sang ba do jie bei ge le xian tam o le da wai ra de ni mai shan qi le nai da xie ba jin choi shan qi sen bai jie lai san zai lo Rinchen Dong Joy Dashi Si Nyan Dun Joy Bun Sa Yi Wong Kamaya La Ni Da Ya Dong Dong Bun Zoi Ba Bei Bei Pen De Jam Zi Wan Jeng Ko Loi De Ren Jian Dam Choi Ji Ji Shang Jin Jian Cho De Jia Wan Chu Jin Ji Ji Ma Gai So Ngo Wu Jin Be Ba Be Wen Ai Xie La Mo Ji Lai Shang Cai Lo Chang Bai Jin Bai Dim Chong Si Mi Bai Me Dai Din Dai Jar Po Yong Hoi Song Bai Ji A Po Dai Le Wai Me Me Sa Nam Te Se De La Zi Ko Loi Dang 这些拉赞东通都记见，破坏拉真去的将前进，杀生的是给了这西边，去的中外接来上在路。 大家一定得当去这把来，给大年晚在外贡献的，等待阿帮不上的一片这些的人不是做白手。多金强金，得爱老那罗当，马把门啦，全接干波波，地生写着。 con chi kai mai ban che ye chong ji ye ban ji nan dan che da cai sen bai din ton bai sum 萨兰萨迦，切拉爱你们，念弥陀佛，大波开觉啦，娑罗的娑。 开具来买南，夜半见诺南台心觉罗，谢罗公觉开阳白松百姓。 se no con la chai ji mi ba dam che de de ta che be gon chi la ni ge xian ba 没把心结了，没个光结，我要我送百姓，没我的个也别来买了。 Jende Solva Debe Konjiala Jemi Megwe Chewa Shinjialo Yemi Agonji I song by Kai Shar Doi Bi I was so minded Ma Ji Te Ka Doi Bi Gon Ji La Kon ja lo ya da ta wa sin ji lo nam dong o wo xue ge song bai yin jie yang ma yin jie yang cha wa lam Mangaro by Chai Vigonjialam Konde Yemi Daya by Sinjialam Jewa Konde Yang da la ma dong de mi ji ji pe la lo ji jin sa da la ji yon de ra jo Tao Jin Chang Ge Kai Pan Yu Toi Chong Tao Jin Chang Ge Kai Pan Yu Toi Chong Namo Amitabha Nepsho Ndidi Pemo Yang Zoi Jemi An Din Nine Taye Sorwa and Devson Shela Deme Sanjin Rebai Sinjalo Jere Aizewan Tejian Tola Soy San Shen Yiran Dai Joyan Ko Soyan Lan Sorwan Devson Shelang Edenzor Deme Sanje Debai Sinje Alon Sanje Nyebai Soji Biman Ren Jin Zhep Toi Jian Page 80, 80.
Rinpoche jig mendula wanzuki.
La,
Rinpoche jig mendula.
okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I often my read or sometimes. Ima ho om sa sanje nang wan ta ye dang to je chin bo tu chin yang to lai so san je san sen ba mi tang je la zhe je gu bi sim je su wa yin de da la cho ge ang de za de so Nang wan ta yen de ba xin jie lo ran ye sen ban jie de wan shou gan xia jie sa jie dang bo ta jia dang on me xin chen dang ne bei gan jin po zoi da dai ren qin jin jie jin 根灭本灭爱难的界中修，托看顿的爱七八大为因，阿爸没把中国顺不当，得见辛苦勇士走白山，作为托看大定是一样他。 阿弥陀佛，俺真也是苦，得了为是卡多那做吧，日本的土囊瓜加班去，草芥加罗世界趟进去，加入先来对你让来听。 若外心间共结的这讲，对外进的结为卡定决，有小心的进行的决，南界心间我把没别个。 也愿是大神拜神拜当。 长街上行跑步跟人觉，我这一周边或外东内住，如今如灭心境当结果，我把一米不公帮土本。 I me de wa je o I me de wa je 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 o I me de wa je 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 o I me de wa je 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 o I me de wa je I me de wa je I me de wa Om Ami Devare, Om Ami Devare, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara. Amen Devara, 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 Amen Devara. Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara. Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara, Amen Devara. Amen Devara, 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 Amen Devara. Amen That's all. Tani mar beji de any page 100. Tenen dönce ayncom dende Öde jene aranlaintin Rale aynan kıncazındar Çomde ciğernava Sardon zonde nyobancı Ola soda delangası gom çok sıcak gom jali kapsı tan ne kapsı gom jadi nam jajinde 맞다. 니마 니그레나 아니 투바세 삼바세 곰바세 아니 배차가 토네나 두상 곰삼세 아니 가장 양고 꼰도 로린 타에 그 담배 라왕 다시 라 담비아리 그 당화 하장사보 가담배 그 명한다고 당문에 자네 당화 그 총 차도도 부 소환한시게니 당화 된지 가장 아주 두상 곰삼세 요리 아니 대담 마세 방아랑 주다 따와 레실라니 산제 오바미 아니 문에 자네게다 대비 니그 찔이잖아 어떤 데서는다 롬망부 나던 거 요리 된데 이랬잖아 다 죄되냐면서 요리 예당 플라냐면서 두상 없음세 아니 강따장 다 니만이 그래나 개가 자와던데요 세요리 근데 이랬잖아 다 드랭크 값을 땅 아주 된데 개가 자와서야 돼 빵보 그 산지 오바미 빵보라 는 뇌지 나팔을 요요 삼바세네 근데 이제 산지 오바미 투지번 좀당도 집어도네 이렇게 뭐 지난 남자니 가장 드랭게니 3대 하자 여보 중송 슬락과도 다들 값을 봐봐도 진신들 아니 때 빼야보 중송 송내니 맞아라 마 투지번 좀당도 집어보니 마 송송 삼바세 진송한테 지시고 다들 삼로 동소한테 내지세 아니 디지트니 아니 산지 오빠미 투지번 좀당도 집어보니 마도 땅에 지란 소랑 님바 야슈징에 슬랍 야슈데 때긴다 시드 다 그송토 그 슬랍시야 들어와 산지 오빠미지 그 슬랍 숨그 슬랍 아니 투지 슬랍 쉬야 돼 대인도 전에 그 송토 그 슬랍 쉬는데 아니 산지 오빠미 그대요 말보고 공부질을 차네 아니 때래 자와시다 집어 탐지지 그 슬랍 투지 슬랍 그 송토 그 슬랍 용수 좀 차상 사바시 아니 왜 말보들은 이제도 마밤에 지마시들랑 그 찌올라템 받은 냠들 리지고니 서버 I don't know, today I have a little problem with my camera. Any 강다자니 지올라템 값에 리지드 듬이 동 차상됐다. 네 르라 산지 오바미지 그 있으나 조송 써봤어요. 아니 베지도 말보든 dimbal라템 받은 yap던 아가 살랍쇼. 아니 랑 산지 오바미 그 송 살랍쇼. 되다 yap던 아가 소송은에 제가 타마틱도 안 잘라서 버드더니 동 차상 다서 써봤어요. 아니 말보든 지마시는 마밤도 흰깔아 밥서 써봤어요. 흰깔아 밥아든 냠데 아니 산지 오바미지 투지 살랍 추지거 달마까야 달마다르트스야 추지거든. 아니 나랑 서로 쇼송 써봤어요. 슈바의 냠도 띵토 띵이라 아니를 방언투네 산지 오바메지 투지 공부나지 또네 아니 산지 오바메지 투지 살랍된 거랑 쇼송 써봐 아니 샘지고니 써버대다 냠도 듣듯 아니 니도 차장 나세 느세 lok다 쪼세봐 시즈드 바다 바차지드 바차상 다서 써봤어 탈 아니 랑그 마다블링아 있음때 답be 산지 오바메지 그 성토가 살랍을 줬네 어떤 데지는 산지를 줄송 써봤어. 산지를 줄송 쌈니 값을 주풍데 산지를 줄세 왔단 말이. 주풍데 득득 자상 다 차리. 나 득득 다. 또 산지시야데 간듯이 얘기 요리 시대잖니. 예예를 내들게 셈된 산지 시대잖니. 대 값을 셈 뉴마 셈데 누구도 줬네. 돈이 또 무슨나 파인 거라 야샤시야데 대 값을 니네. 아니 세마치바 가장 공대 시바나지 세마치바 다때 세마치바 소마사바 어떠가랑은 산지 오바미지 뭐라 타지네 어떤 시야리시 다 mambo 차서 베비 고다
So let's here contemplate that Buddha Amitabha in the space before us is very pleased with the retreat that we've done over these 2 days. Listening, contemplating, and meditating the very profound Kadampa instructions that Jamgon Kongtrul gave to Lawang Tashi, his instructions, meditating on them, and then this practice of Buddha Amitabha, which has been our heart practice for many years. So first of all, think that Buddha Amitabha is very happy, is very pleased with us. This is really wonderful practice that we've done. And then Buddha Amitabha, being very pleased with us, wants to confer on us a present. What is the best present that Buddha Amitabha can give? It's the blessings of the body, speech, and mind. And so Buddha Amitabha melts into light, an orb of red light which comes to the crown of our head, and entering into the crown of our head purifies all our negativities of the body, transforms our body into that of Buddha Amitabha, and passes down to our throat, where we receive the blessings of Buddha's Amitabha's speech, and we're purified of negativities of speech, which is lying, slander, abusive speech, and idle gossip. And our speech is transformed into Amitabha's speech. And then that orb of red light passes down. And this orb of red light is the embodiment of all the awakened ones, the body, speech, and mind, the three bodies of all the Buddhas. Passes down to our heart, where it purifies all of our faults and downfalls and negativity of the mind. We're blessed with we receive the blessings of Buddha Amitabha's mind. And in short, we transform into Buddha Amitabha. Our impure body is transformed. And it's not this impure body which becomes Buddha Amitabha. That's been purified. Rather, it's the base, primordial nature of ourselves, our own mind, that is transformed into Buddha Amitabha. And so thus remain in this state now transformed into Buddha Amitabha.
Lasso ni tagaran jisen ni gom ja chua. Tanga su gom kama khashi jagi. Okay, let's go
Now
meditate.
we'll meditate for a few minutes.
Hola so, ane nga chu tilai telan chamja. Ane ti yugot ni, ti yugot ni, ane nga chu ta karchang ta depa lo chigari na nga chu kalay tabne. Ane nyami Gampopa ke zayja chuka Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa. Ta lo hume ane richu la nga chu ke. Ane ngotsok ne, ta lun, ta richu la nga chu chamja ne, temde mandik randik sewa nanshi ta ngune pe yanchi mo. O tende shongri, tende edi tani tereng ta, de lange di Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa ki chutun tamade ma shio yoga yinsi.
So, leaving the meditation here, we'll continue on now with the instructions on the precious garland of the Supreme Path by the incomparable Gampopa, which we've been putting a lot of effort into over the course of a year. And it's quite wonderful that our last session of it coincides with our retreat in an unplanned auspiciousness. Notice.
Oh, ya ya. Da so, da tereng, tende she, ane de la, tambo nga ke, ta nguma nanshi she ne, kaju lama mama takso la soba ani sosu zawa lama to juba lama chama la soba takwi ani chiran choka ti nanyi ani lo chu sun lo chu lamden lo lan chu ba se ani tarto ani jipchu Gampopa tawe chi tawe njori sho samba ka thone ni mona tab shosi soba tab shosi.
Now, as usual, I'll begin with the lineage prayer to the gurus of the lineage Marpa, Milarepa, Gampopa, and so forth. And as we do that, make your own prayers that your own mind and the mind of all beings may turn towards the Dharma, that Dharma may become the path may be cleared of deception may rise as innate wisdom, and ultimately that we may become just like you, Bapolaje Sonam Rinchen Gampopa. So please make this prayer along with me.
Tisam sanje tam che che ngo re dan je ngo jam se chap da yin ga ding song pa me be pang gon tin che la ma tam be shap je de re zhe ma me ba la ko be rab de ku be san sa chap sen chiu yu sen jiang lang pan ze de so nam da cha chen za me sa ye la ding jin za ba mi re long ku ben ze shi ram ye de nong wei ju gong sa tum jiao dong gong zhe be ge le so yin dab jin bin pa ye li mang zhe lo zhe jin bi chu gun tin ni se ya zhe ba jin bi chung zhe jiang de lo sa jin bi xiao lang ge san sa ni de jin bi ge da zhe ne ji ga jie jin bi la ma ni ba nen zi zun zhe jin bi zhe be jian qin zin re ba jin bi xiao la so wa de ti ba jin bi ren qiu yong su se ya sa jia jin bi do ba ngon de jue le jin bong ka da nian ba da yin gong jin bi xiao la so wa de Pardin do jin chawa re kun chap da lama karma ba jikura kun je jung ne si je pam je ye da nam je ma le kun je si bo wan je chu yong be jin jam da la nam je che che ke be de do da mi thu ji chong wa ja wa kun je che chin si ke ji de de ba ka ri ta ka wa pa pyong je ti wa su zhe be ke kam sun do la ma gu sa Pardin za wa la ma ru mo chi da ge chi wo be me ni yo cả đến chim bé con này chỉ dùng để có sống thô giang ở đó sát đó dùng để sáng chế con ta nhắm na yang cả đến sáng chế con ấy là bên con sao mà làm mấy sắp lo số vấn đề đặc song trong vô lo na chư sư trong càng đa số biểu đông kinh dịch đi na để chỉ số mà chư ba càng số ta tin được tin về chư chuyện chân về xem mà để ba tham chiến được sẽ nam mô ya tam ba la ya ke dang lo dan de jin ke trom da dang me ya ke nam da wa ku che da ke che sam tham chiến ke de da ke chư tin do 마준 로아나 타다 냠베 심진 탐지 시제 동안 타다레 드라데 넘버 인제 대와 라나메 바 양다바 조바 산지제 공파를 뭐지 되니 제내장 도버사 다대 치드 담배 취사모데니 추진데 신의 냠슬랑바르 디오 냠바고네 신차라시
O benevolent root guru, who is in essence all Buddhas of the past, present, and future, with great devotion I prostrate to you and go for refuge to you with my body, speech, and mind. Please grant your blessings to be cared for by you inseparably in this lifetime and all of my future lives. Clean ground of pure ethical discipline, beautified by mountains of unfathomable samadhi, illuminating all things with wisdom light of the sun and moon, Supreme Buddha, who accomplishes the welfare of all, please bestow virtue and goodness. Your mandala expanding throughout space and knowledge of all things, beautiful thousand-fold light striking the lands of trainees, fully illuminating all of Buddha's teachings in their entirety. With devotion I prostrate to the great jewel of the Kargyu. O glorious and precious root guru, please take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me in your great kindness. Please grant attainments of body, speech, and mind, equal to all Buddhas in qualities of realization, yet surpassing all Buddhas in kindness to me. I pray at the feet of my root guru, O protector, please turn the minds of myself and all beings towards the Dharma. All you who have become disciples of the Sugātas, those gone to bliss, throughout the billions of worlds of the 10 directions, all of you who wish to hear the Dharma raining down here and now, may you come here. Namo, in languages of devas, nagas, and yakshas, languages of kumbhandas and human beings, in the sounds of whatever beings exist, in every language, I shall teach the Dharma. Please listen well with the motivation of bodhicitta, thinking all mother sentient beings equal to the extent of space must by all means attain unexcelled eternal bliss of perfect complete Buddhahood. To accomplish this, I shall listen carefully without distraction to the Mahayana teachings being given here and put them into practice.
Hola so tatila sorry I forget the recording I have to on the recording this go danga de MDC recording Karma Gelek he gonna scold me he gonna I forget lasso 아니 다 드리잖아요 다 드리는 아주 니 타마게니 Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa 다 취대 근데 차대 요리 드리잖아요 아니 나랑 그 문에 있나야 남샤 준데 아니 문에 다네 기어트 받아 삼바다 공바 대손이다 로병 그 준데다 나와지라 말레이시아 주고 고갑수나요 랑아페 핀도 치모도 근데 있잖아요 아니 대주름네 나랑 하자 핀도 치모 송송 아니 지나봐 참아라 투치낭 시야이 뭐
So as we commence this last day of our precious Garland of the Supreme Path teachings, as always, I want to express my great appreciation and joy in having the opportunity to listen, contemplate, and meditate on these teachings. To be able to give them is very beneficial as well for me, and so I want to thank you all for this opportunity.
다 드링에 드시 mambo 쇼 마고 하시네. 당 아솔라 드링 젠철 mambo도 원래 철 mambo도 드리잖아요. rabdi 마셔 저거 인시 다들은 같이 추트는데 추트니 잡지봐 아니 타마데 아니 대화치 뭐 순지도 추겨서야 되죠.
So we have a lot on our schedule. I won't spend a lot of time commenting on this, but this time we have the last set of the 10 things that are spontaneously present as great bliss.
대화치 뭐 순지도 추겨네 심지 탐지지 심지랑지 추건네 대화치 뭐 순지도 이제 춘이지 인란 침에 뜨밤이 대화치 뭐 순지도 탑다 론데제 똑발라 소리 뜨밤이 대화치 뭐 순지도 일에 사와미 냠뇽라 맥베 뜨밤이 대화치 뭐 순지도 sabdar tsomi ji chubala lando ji tubami be dewachi bo sunji trap. Yinda yishi yemi be chugala zungzin ji tubami be dewachi bo sunji trap. Tuji ramzong longkala jianjin ponje ji tubami be dewachi bo sunji trap. Tuji ramshar ji chugala ninang duzi ji tubami be dewachi bo sunji trap. Yinba chujin kolola daktanchi be tubami be dewachi bo sunji trap. Semi tujin trilela jache de tsingmi be dewachi bo sunji trap. These are
the 10 things that are spontaneously present as great bliss. Since the nature of the minds of all sentient beings is the Dharmakaya, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in the ground, the expanse of Dharmata, there are no elaborations of characteristics, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in realization that transcends the intellect and is beyond extremes, there are no elaborations of divisions, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in experience, free from mental activity, there are no conceptual elaborations, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in effortless conduct, free from action, there are no elaborations of acceptance and rejection, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in the Dharmakaya, indivisible space and wisdom, there are no elaborations of the apprehended and the apprehending, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in the Sambhogakaya, self-arisen compassion, there are no elaborations of birth, death, transference, or change, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in the Nirmanakaya, self-arising compassion, there are no elaborations of the perception of dualistic appearances, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in the Dharma chakra of the doctrine, there are no elaborations of the view of a self or of characteristics, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Since in the activity of boundless compassion, there is no partiality or season, it is spontaneously present as great bliss. Those are the 10 things that are spontaneously present as great bliss.
Wala so tati nge riri chida maa tsik tindro maa kuwa chiye. Ani tati tsama ka domra chi maa chabne maa chi shunasi.
So I think I'll give a summary of all of these rather than going through them one by one.
Tati nana cheta namcha juda nga chi chuka nani yi kapsa chuchik ta lamji kapsa chuchik ta revi kapsa chuchik. Chuta kardi tini yi kapsa rokodowa lamji kapsa rokodowa revi kapsa rokodowa. Te hakoya ta kechimbo isi.
So in general, when teachings of the Dharma are given, they're given in terms of the base, the path, and result. And it's important to know in which context they're being explained, which of these contexts.
Tene zane treng di nani shesa te dewa chimba sunji tupsiya ten revi ka kapsa. Ani sheka yudu zane ani chamen chingo isi.
So you need to understand that here the explanation is being given in terms of the result, fruitional time.
Dewa chimba sunji tupsongdo wa chamala. Ti tsikde gen revi imba hako ko yuri.
So by these words, spontaneously present as great bliss, you can understand from this that we're talking about the resultant state.
Tene zane tan di nani ngarang tsu yela matimba lam yuya yo mari lan yamni la matimba deva yuya yo mari ke chishu the kare resi tane yela yowa the hakko tele yichi chene ngang chu yi jula di nani chuko long ko tru ko te tang ngang chu lamji kap su chuko long ko tru ko te ni khari do wa de du tane yi kap su chuko long ko tru ko te yela yo ba hakko war chene ane tela lam nyamni ke be sola tine revu chuko te yi chuko to ngundu churwala ane revu chuko si yi long ku yi chuko yi chuko te mewa yi na revu chuko to ngundu chuya yo mare o tende yin tane
However, without the base, we have no basis for proceeding on the path. Without the path, we have no basis for proceeding to the result, the fruition. So the most important thing is for us to understand that the foundational state is present within us. That there is that Buddha nature, that there is that that pure nature at our very foundation, at our very base, and as we practice it, as we practice it, that level, what we practice during the path, is different from the base state. But when we reach the fruitional state, we are manifesting what is present there at the base. So without that base of our pure nature, there would be no way to manifest the resultant state. Notice.
o tende yin tane ye lam revu yongsu zokpa ka chu ane kari tene yongo yore si tane sengu ye dang sengu lam dang sengu revu chu yongsu zokpa de sengu tola yaga yore tane sen ye de mane ane sen korang ke ye de mane kusum ranche de yodo waji chuko long ko to kasi ngachu tata dharma kaya mana kaya sambona kaya si chamchana o dhamma kaya sina sanje opa minda waji ane sambona kaya si ngoro mochi mana kaya si kire senda o tende chi chuko long ko to kasi ate sror chigla phajo chigla yode wanda chi yogo do wa de kare re si tane chunzi pe chuko long ko te chunzi pe de kan chungo yo pe dan chunza de chuko long ko te yele yu pe ane tata ngarang ju sengge ninang ke me maba ba ke yele yu pe ye tu mane sem de la sarvacha tongbucha rikbucha sar tong rik den disum le gala sim la ngo chi la de sin de si sha ya ya chi cha de ko sum si ya de
So without that foundation, we would have no way to practice and then manifest the result. So what we need to understand is that these three bodies of the Buddha, Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, are intrinsically present within us at the foundational state, at the base state. When we talk about these three bodies, we sometimes think of them as something outside of ourselves. That the Buddha Amitabha is the Dharmakaya, and that Avalokiteshvara and so on is the Nirmanakaya form. But these are representational forms. These are symbolic forms for the actual three bodies, which are innate to our self, and it's these which we practice on the path and manifest at the time of the result.
Okay, you forget the very important things, Samba. Sim tade shiba ka machu pa dig thola sabra chachi tang tomba chachi ta rikpa chachi doa sar tong riksum de any chuko long ko to sam le jak yuris.
Lord. And in terms of how these are present in our base state is in terms of three qualities: the clarity, the emptiness, and the awareness. So these three qualities are spontaneously present in that base. This is where that three kayas innately present within ourself are found.
La so che karin che sam ba
Which
dang e je zang de ma la ya ge de che de chi de she sho ma ko chi. Oh ya, any sami chimba da di ba la ma dang jip chu do ma la so ba la pa la nam ji sang so khawa ji ji tim ba sar si do nga so ba pa di ma me ji ya se ji sung ju de ma mi ba nam ka dam be la ma la ku di le thu ba dang ya pa pa yu de ni da da ba jin chu na ro me de ni dang ma pa lo ba ba la so ba khe de nam ji thu ji chun ji ba jip chun ji ja ba ma la re pe ji su so song de ma mi ba na so ji de ba lam jo ren bo ji thu wa 예사와 값사 니제 담배 zonchawa shar tapu nigom sunarin chije tipa zoso gyame longzi nyami Gampopa larje Sonam Rinchen parzambo choki nyamnyong nincho chigde tipa Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa de nyamsa langpe chimcho namjin rodong chile chimbo jeba jerje aso.
So to conclude with the finishing words in the colophon, that completes a precious garland of the supreme path, a collection of the stainless instructions heard from the kind Kadampa gurus of the tradition of the glorious Dipankara, Atisha, father and son, Dromtumpa, acclaimed as the illuminators of the doctrine in the northern Himalayan region by gurus endowed with undefiled wisdom and by yidams such as Jetsun Droma. And from the king of Jetsuns, Milarepa, the holder of the heart nectar of learned siddhas, such as Marpa of Lodrak, and the supreme beings Naro and Meche, as renowned in India as the sun and moon. This was written by Sonam Rinchen, the meditator of Nyi, from Dakpo in the east, the holder of the treasury of the Kadampa and Mahamudra instructions. Colophon, in the words of Lord Gampopa, to all future individuals devoted to me who think they cannot meet me, please read the treatises composed by me, such as A Precious Garland of the Supreme Path and The Ornament of Precious Liberation. It will be no different from meeting me personally. Since he has said this, you fortunate ones devoted to Lord Gampopa, please be diligent in the propagation of these texts. Dedication by the sponsor of the woodblocks, Tsering Tundra. The great son of the victor's teaching, Zamling Dogpa, out of compassion for beings, composed this precious garland of the supreme path, in order to serve the teachings in this life, in order that in the long run all our kind parents who fill space may accomplish the two aims and attain true Buddhahood, and to spread the victor's teachings in all directions through explanation and practice. This woodblock was newly produced at Karmapa's Dharma settlement, where it remains. May it become a beacon for devotees. Sarva Mangalam.
어 도대체 다 출랑을 마모도 말을 싫어하대 이제 자나는 싫어하면도 이 집을면도 왜 야보도 출랑들라 어 다대게 아주 살주세요 와 다대게 살이 아니 다 아주 벽에 휴시의 값을 휴통도 양장 거지 소죠 그래 땜들게 치도 마음 발랑 아주 양장데 담배 취되라 뒤바세 삼바세 bom바세 문투든데 나지지 실력 땜들게 이제 좀 붙여도 휴통은 참야 마야지 양장 거니 마지 라그리 어땡에 마지 라기
Now, as we do traditionally in Tibet and in the teachings of Tibetan Buddhism, I will again begin at the beginning of the text. This is so that as we finish a text, we don't make a break, but we continue looking at it so that to create an auspicious circumstance for us to again meet with these teachings and be able to listen, contemplate, and meditate on them. So in order to set up these auspicious circumstances for this not to really end here, but to continue on into the future, we'll again begin the text.
Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa Shisawa Yokso, Namonguru, Namori Nanguru, Kashi Kulu Johnson, Jusoronshi, Garkawale, Rwanzi, Kajurumbuti, Juba, number of Ninja Singapore, Chuju Johnson, Yudase, Mishi Bolomana, Judge, Yon, YouTube, Wami Bell, amount of Manana, Sa, the Shinkasun Jews, Yellow the Solo, Kaju de Dallas, Sunga Yon, and Boyla, number with a Jujarani, the year, don't walk Awajina, like the number Dangalam. 초대 제발 뭐지 정화시 사와시 얘기를 좀 거봐 지오 대양 땡제 가서 타와다 던지 집에 산지저 그만 도만 되베 뭐 pombo 주주지서 dimba 사와 이 바라가와 밀 자마데 메기레 득베레라 주던 방 dim바라가 와라 던지 밀 자마데 취미 타마라지 얼스 시런 바라 님메드서 제 메체 용동 예용데 미사벨레라 시던 방 라심지가 라인이 주민에 대한 그런 거는 도서는 바람난디 별로마담바데 사주마도 바던도 바람도 바도데 니모 바미 기왕게 기도 바람에 지지라는 니베 또 바데 듯이 사는 게도 또 바도 또 지메가 서모데 뭐나 바미나라 정도 바 도와 심진의 진 바마나 당외 심진 뭐연도 와 방주베 라도다 바고 som데 타마라 따뇽앙데 야도 바데는 방바 주제예노 라소 방부 추추 이노스야 뒤초대 마치 라슈 사바게 그런 게 지금 라고 인지 돌아
Jusen Dampo de
라오 추치 담보데 받아 그렇지
Oh.
추치 담보데 차상에
Precious
라
Garland so Rinpoche read all of this, so that I'll be reading here. Precious Garland of the Supreme Path by Gampopa Sonam Rinchen, the root text translated by Lama Yeshe Council and Laura M. Roth. Namo Ratna Guru, to those who liberate beings from the terrifying ocean of samsara that is so hard to cross, who are adorned with the pure practice of the precious Kagyu, whose river of blessings is inexhaustible like the expanse of an ocean. To the holy gurus of the stainless practice lineage of vast, far-seeing, spontaneously accomplished aspirations, I pay homage and go for refuge. I pray that you engulf me with your splendor, having considered for a long time the oral tradition that has come from those Kagyus. I will write down precious garland of the supreme path, instructions that are extremely valuable to those fortunate ones who directly or indirectly venerate me. 1. Those individuals wishing to attain liberation and omniscience, Buddhahood, should from the beginning recollect the 10 causes of loss. This pure human body, so difficult to acquire, is lost in wrongdoing. This pure human body with its freedom and resources, so difficult to possess, is lost in ordinary physical death without dharma. This brief human life in the age of decadence is lost and used up in meaningless activities. This mind whose nature is the Dharmakaya beyond elaboration is lost and mired in the swamp of samsaric confusion. The holy guru who leads one on the path is lost if one is separate from him at any time until one attains awakening. Vows and Samaya, the ship of liberation, are lost in destruction of klesas by carelessness and adverse conditions. The experience and realization that one has acquired through the intercession of one's guru are lost in the forest of mental formations. The profound instructions of siddhas are lost by being sold to the unworthy. Sentient beings, one's kind parents, are lost when one abandons them through anger. One's youthful 3 gates are lost in ordinary indifference. Those are the 10 causes of loss.
오야 나대게 땜제이 가서 마음 발아야 전데 나지시는 출라 아볼라지 이제 야리 람초를 지쳐라 추상 검성 시티 내가 담모남 어떤데 아니 아따다 추삼 텔레자기 아니 깔마 줄라 브라이트 티 브라이트 10 minutes 티 브라이트 아니 데이터도 쳐 팹네 아니 산주세 로바냠도 쉬고이 어떤데
So with this blessing, we pray and set up the circumstances for us to be able to continue with this teaching like this again in the future. So now let's take about a 10-minute break and come back to reconvene, and when we do, we'll take the Bodhisattva vows.
Rana tombe sonye charadon sanje nanje toje shonjo Manga barado jiwa me josho ishi serve ma charadon Meje metaramo she parasho she dan trove kursu charadone Meje dendo barato mo she sho lenye wanje dungal nyongzana Jawa she tru dunga selwa sho che ni randa tru ton dirtana che che daro juwa sho cha me le che so dang do Jalwa shito daso chato so pacha leche donga yongzana Yesa deve tenze charwa sho sepa barato zede chezana Chelo de mi jo sho gando samba wanje letana Yenye tulbe jikta mi jo sho chese cho ngarje dende Yeje drupe cheda jurwa sho Kanchara londa mpe de Shema Tato Chok
Hola so, ani tatare, tatang atu, yungyute, ani sanchup senka domba. O tendisi maa shuga yin, nyamda shuna, nyamda maa tendisi ne. Dune tendisi ga yin, namju, pepe lama namben, jego kapsa wang chimbo nangna, tende nangka dwa, tange wang nangni tsabla. Ani sanchup senka domba, nyamda shujawa yin na. Ani katsa gutola, ngone deka pinto chimbo yujuri, tinka do tende zane. Ani tsame tendisi tulu yaro jisi.
So we'll take the Bodhisattva vows together. These are often given in connection with an initiation, but I feel that more important than initiation or more useful to us is to take the Bodhisattva vows together, so we'll do that instead.
How do we do? Everybody, Rachel, do you have the text?
I do. I can show it on screen, or I've put the link to the text in the
Just
chat.
share the link for the people, and also you can, maybe better that you share the text and the screen. Yeah.
Sure.
Hola so. Mambushu magwachi. Matsu 하자가와 zambo 오늘 전에 같이 다 야보지 상로 당와 있는 거랑도 참아 하자가와 zambo 니만 니들라 에 마신 같이 랍진게 담배 취지 드립터 요래 아니 다때 참에 통로 야 아니 드행 같이 다 산주세 dom바쇼고 요래 자네 아니 뇌지 남칼라 다당 같이 썰다바나 이제 산지 오바미당 아니 파바지레세당 산지 좀 된대당 아니 산지다 산주스 뭐 아니 소시 자월라마도 주발라마라서 마창와미 반도지 남칼라 유 삼바세 아니 띵 되는 애들은 산주세 dom바도 쇼기 삼바세 어디는 난 쇼시.
So keeping in mind how fortunate we have been to attend to the Dharma over these 2 days, I won't say much here. To go on with the Bodhisattva vows, visualize in the space before you all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Buddha Amitabha, Avalokiteshvara, and so on, and all of the root and lineage gurus. They're in the space before you.
아니 쪼대 다 산지세 돈바 휴고 중지 쪼대 가래 차대 시대 쪼대 아니 랑 기반 집을 로대게 나랑 철라 간데 느끼와 대상로당 랑진지 그느 로대게 디 로대 기선당네 토마미반에 다 빠르던 코알레야 탈주 짱니 메리 수주리 시도 짱니 랑 기반 집아 nga 랑레 첩을 로당 디 랑레 첩을 로디 왕게 아니 인라 당와 로디 차당 이거 로대게 아니 가좀 코알렌 창고가 정도 근데 송장 니마 드레니 정대 랑 기반 집바데 아니 총저당 아니 이 기반 집바데 치라당 니마 드레니 정대 어떻게 근데 지금 삼바 어떻게 난 쇼시
So the important thing to be aware of and contemplate here is the great drawbacks of a self-centered kind of attitude. You know, what is it that has kept us bound in the sufferings of samsara since beginningless time? It's this sense of our own self-importance being greater than others, and our selfish kind of attitude centered around that. So thinking about how this has created so many sufferings and problems for us in this life and in previous lives, then we set the determination to diminish it, to lessen that, and instead cultivate more caring for others, making that more important than our own self-centered attitude.
제세 집에 쉬와라케 로고 대와치니 바테고 인데들레서 로고 동해치니 바테고 란데들레서 망도시에다 지시고 특별한데시바 시베란데시바다 특별 신지되세바 내니진의 제발도 송도와 따때 중심 빼야 보여들라 디 중심들 삼로 당와이나 알레 당근에 자네 나라가 되네 데벨람난 로고도 람마노와데 yinla tsewate ya yin chipan jipa lotere sha lam norwate rangla chipan jine rang nga seyate lo ti lam tere sha yin chipan jimpe ti lamla tine sanje ta sanju sumpa mambo che sanje tsaware sha rang chipan jipa longi la tine ngi song som la sopa nyarwata yeda tulola nyong jimpe simchi te nam ri sha samba chik jumchin la samlo tangde 근데 지 소화이나 삼로 당와이나 아니 세는 접지 되고요.
So as Shantideva says, all the happiness in the world is the result of love, caring about the happiness of others, whereas all the suffering comes from being focused solely on our own happiness. Childish beings who seek only their own suffering, their own welfare, are trapped in cyclic existence, whereas Buddhas who are dedicated to the welfare of others have attained full enlightenment. You know, there's no need to say much. Just look at the difference between these. So there's an excellent reasoning that's presented here for us to think about. You know, that Buddhas who have dedicated themselves to the welfare of others ahead of themselves have ascended to full enlightenment, whereas beings who have been seeking solely their own happiness, you know, wander in cyclic existence, and especially in the lower realms of cyclic existence. So contemplating in this way, we think, okay, well, this attitude of seeking my own happiness first ahead of others is really a mistaken path, which does not work, whereas this path that the Buddhas have taken of dedicating themselves to the welfare of others is a valid, correct path, a path that works. And so this way, thinking about it, we can logically convince ourselves that this is our best course of action.
라소 아니 되지 아니 다치랑주 남주 로치보당 아니 대사때서라 답되어 매바이나 남자주도 가랑시 저기 하는데 그래 아니 로치보 매양 깜바 되어요 근데나 야 쪽쪽세네 아니 같은 남주 소병고 동바슈지 값을 뭐이 발랑아 살아 쪽수고 요와 레시야 쪽쪽시 주교를 쇼나 다 된데 바차고 요와 근데 시 어떤데 시 통자로 치시.
So if your age or physical condition prevents it, then you can just remain seated where you are. If your health allows it, and your body is well enough, you can kneel down to take the Bodhisattva vows as we usually do when we take vows.
당내대 만드는 값을 그렇게 털는데 빼만 처먹게 빼만 처먹게 돼 지듯이나 야고도 내마 남지도 빼만 처먹 멋지고 배바지고 마 지듯이 효시 아니 인지대 아주 마 냠도 라주리세 그렇게도 마 지듯이 인지담배 그렇게도 지도 강투톱도 나 효시.
Okay, so I'm going to give it in Tibetan, and I'd like one of our Tibetans, Pema Tsomo, to repeat it after me, and then we'll all read the English together. So participate in this as well as you can.
I'm so sorry to interject here. I might need help when to scroll because there's no phonetic Tibetan on this version. So thank you.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You want me to raise my hand when it's time to move?
Okay.
I can put up my hand like that when you need to move. When we need to scroll, okay, Rachel?
Yeah, okay. 소주나 유배 산지 좀된데야 담제단 사주라 네베 산주 선바 진보 남당 라마도 진선바 진보 너라 공수 소주나 유배 산지 좀된데야 담제단 사주라 네베 산주 선바이 진보 남당 라마 도진 선바이 진보 나 다라 공수소 쇼이저나 유베 산제 좀된데 담제다 사줄라 네베 산조 선바이 진보 남당 라마 도진 선바이 진보 나 다라 공수소 사제 손쇼 선바
O all Buddha Bhagavans throughout the 10 directions, great Bodhisattvas abiding on the spiritual grounds, and great Vajradhara Gurus, please listen to me. So this next part is repeated.
장초 님보 시지바르 산제남라 접선체 최다산출 선바예 초란대지 접선체 Can you move the page? Okay. 제다른 문제 대시지 산축 투네 지바당 산축 선배 라발라 대다름시 네바따르 대신 돌아 핀돈데 산축 세네 지지싱 대신 뜨네 라발랑 름바진데 라바지 디주바당보송 주바니 반대의 지도양지 산주님보 시제바르 산제남라 접선체 최다산주 선바예 초란대진 접선체 제다른 문제 대식지 산축 투네 이바당 산축 선배 라발라 대다름시 네바따르 대신 돌아
대신 졸라
핀동의
펜던도
상주 세네
전주 셈네
기지신
계기신
대신도네
대신 돈네
라바랑
라발랑
림바지데
렘바신도
라바지
라바르기
대주반이 바송 유바선바 대지도 양즈 상주 님보
전주 닝보
시제 바르
시기바르
상제 남라
상게 남라
잡선 체
겹수체
최다 상주
최다 전주
선바예
셈바이
초랑 대지
초랑 대신
잡선 체
겹수체
제다른 훈제
지더러 wingi
대식지
대시기
상주 통내
전주 투니
이바당
계바당
상주 선배
전주 셈베
라바라
라발라
대다름지
대다림신
네바터
네바터
대진 로라
대신 졸라
빈동도
펜던도
상주 세네
전주 셈네
지지신
계기신
대진도네
대신 투니
라바랑
대신 라발라
림바진데
렘바신도
라바지
라바르기
주바슴바 조바다 님데 nga랑주 줄라 산주 심제 돈발레 파 톱송 냠병이 시팀보 젠즈 탑예노 렉송
렉소
At the end of that third repetition, feel that you've received the Bodhisattva vows, pure Bodhisattva vows, refreshed in your mind. Until attaining the essence of enlightenment, I take refuge in the Buddhas. I also take refuge in Dharma and the hosts of Bodhisattvas, just as the previous Sagatas generated Bodhicitta, and went through the stages of a Bodhisattva's training. Likewise, in order to benefit living beings, I so generate bodhicitta and train in the stages of bodhisattva practice.
라소 다 되긴데 기치 아니 다 지난 저쪽 조시 탕는데 남주나 효효인데 그래 소수 효사를 효효
So if you've been kneeling, you can sit down normally again.
라소 다 되긴 아주 줄라 산주세 넘바 톱리 산주세 넘바 쇼세데 자네 몇지게 잘라 응보지 락베 락발에 떼야나지 그냥 떼요 말이 나랑주 톱로 그 토니 그런 되지 남칼라 아니 파바 지내서 공부 밤에도 산제다 산주스 바나 마상완메 바죽대 유 아니 리투 타마근 욕대라 아니 라마다 냠데 로마 차마가 산주세 넘바 나랑 그 줄라 톱송 삼바게 아니 세는 니시 주마 많이 바지 어디지야 되겠지 뭐 어디에 있잖아요. 내가 너무 바쁘고 있지.
So it's very important at this point to feel at this conclusion of our retreat that we all have taken Bodhisattva vows together, that we have definitely received the Bodhisattva vows in the stream of our being. It's important to have a strong conviction in that.
올라서 당가 저때 냠들 로야나 되기도 와 냠도 마이다 배바 삼제게
So this part we'll recite together.
댕디 나젠데요 메야 시바 렉바라토 데랭 산제 렉스지 산제 세서 다저도 단네 다게 인제네 장 레당 덴베레선 주미 준비 랭데라 뉴바 문제인데다
Now my life has borne fruit. It's good that I've taken human birth. Today I've been born into the family of Buddha and become a bodhisattva. Now I will act in accordance with that noble and faultless family.
long 사들 본보리 제다의 렌진이 바다 대신 지시한다대네 산출 심는 달라인지
Just like a beggar who has found a precious jewel on a rubbish heap, that is how I view this bodhicitta now born in me.
나게양 대령 조바인 단진지 징하는 로와인 대신이 당네 바드데랑 든든 비신 La dang la mi la so ga wai ji.
Today, in presence of all the refuges, I've invited all beings to be my guests until they pass into a Sagata's state of bliss. So the Devas, Asuras, and so on rejoice.
Sanjay Senjo Rumbo Ji Ma Ji Ba Na Ji Ji Jin Ji Ba Nyam Ba Mi Ba Dang Kong Me A Kong Den Pe Wai Shu.
Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore.
Sanjay Senda Mem Dai Shen Sanjay Ji La Yu Wa Dang Sanjay Nam Ji Yong Zong Xin De Ji Le Na Bong Wai Shu.
May I never be parted from bodhicitta, engage in the bodhisattva conduct, be fully sustained by the Buddhas, and abandon the works of Mara.
Sanjay Simbai Namje Nen Dodong Tolai Gong Doi Xiong Gongbo Yin E Gang Gong Bai Simji Nam La Wang Dem Joi Xiong.
May the bodhisattvas accomplish all they wish for the sake of living beings. May the sentient beings as well receive all that the Lord Protectors wish.
Simji Dam Je De Dang Den Je Jiang Wen Do Dam Je Da De Dong Bai Xiu Sanjay Simba Gang Da Si Yu Ba De Da Gong Je Mong Lan De Bai Xiu.
May all sentient beings have happiness. May lower realms always be empty. May bodhisattvas abiding on spiritual grounds accomplish all of their prayers.
对现西巴当起来上茶罗山去什巴什巴金邦巴巴西嘞在往上拉上茶罗，我们开始了什巴拉巴拉巴拉马哈去的萨多贝曼贝贝克达本扎达拉达拉上面的阿瓦罗格的红白手。我们开始了什巴拉巴拉巴拉马哈去的萨多贝曼贝贝克达本扎达拉达拉上面的阿瓦罗格的红白手。我们开始了巴拉巴拉马哈去的萨多贝曼贝贝克达本扎达拉达拉上面的阿瓦罗格红白手。
Homage to all the Tathagata Buddhas. Homage to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara. Om Amogashila Sambara Sambara Bara Bara Mahashida Satopema Bibukita Buzzadara Dara Samanta Avalokite Humpe Soha. Om Amogashila Sambara Sambara Bara Bara Mahashida Satopema Bibukita Buzzadara Dara Samanta Avalokite Humpe Soha. Om Amogashila Sambara Sambara Bara Bara Mahashida Satopema Bibukita Buzzadara Dara Samanta Avalokite Humpe Soha.
那说心间谈姐姐就来此中间把人的心别去那样顺着把姐姐杨梦白此人瞧我来送来十八当十八当姐上香大白姐怕把几百此人姐个瓦当的把姐姐杨梦白么子我能把这周围的瓦拉的把姐姐。
May all sentient beings fully complete the perfection of ethical discipline. May they be purified of all harm and obscuration arising from immorality caused by delusion. May they be endowed with the good fortune of ethical discipline that pleases the Arya beings. May they attain the bliss of liberation that is not oppressed by delusion.
成就此真即灭界，此真能波罗大当天下龙神灭别，此真界此真波罗心作修。
By right morality without defect, endowed with fully pure morality, with morality devoid of pride, may I accomplish the perfection of morality.
假如公觉即是老觉的上波觉巴用是都是尽此真觉巴真灭用到八大的马娘觉灭觉巴修。
training and emulation of all Buddhas, may I perfect the Samantabhadra conduct and act with stainless moral conduct without ever any defect or degeneration.
Yino Yijia Bala Gomben to Malam Nayang Dixim and Johnshi, Sanju Sindang Nayang Mendashi, Chitin Person Sober Daishi Show.
Through power of familiarity with completely abandoning harming others, may hurtful attitudes never arise, even in my dreams. May all be auspicious that I am never separated from bodhicitta and perfect moral discipline.
Like so, we just finished the Bodhisattva vows. Now we're going to pray the what is the next one? Next one is the Butterlamp prayer. Offering the butter. Okay. Any Mami Molam Doya is the Mami Molam there. Hachitina Latijana Yajuri. Can you short skin and the Mami Molam? Yeah.
The Butterlamp prayer, Rachel.
Butterlamp prayer. Any that logic nani or that Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa the soon to shoot the body. And the Kajuba then the Shachadi, Lam Chok the Gampopa Sharang the Sopta Marite, and it rang a tender in the Kungi, or the day the Tane, and it's Ranabe, the Mami Molam Najis and Tomonano cheese.
So as we celebrate the conclusion of our year-long instructions on Precious Garland of the Supreme Path, for auspicious reasons, I'm going to put on this hat of the Kagyu tradition, which is not exactly the style of Gampopa's hat, but for auspicious reasons I'll put it on, and as we do the Butterlamp prayer, please make those aspirations that are expressed in it.
Lasso Mami Molan the end over up, Emantomi Dogoro, and you soon away.
How should we do this? Do I recite it or you, Pema Somo?
Rinpoche Sonam.
Also, yeah. Jehoin Tandeng Karten Lechin Jian Chijan Ema Gahon Chido Tam Chin Jiakarzan Mare Mumbai Silve Deme Deji Ayatape Shinde Nyamde Ranchin Nika design or Renjele Labe Tunde Angela Zimbe Akokan de Nyamde Elohim Jitan Sira and Jawai Mi Ba Tizoi Mi Ba Ziji Molare Toipshon Kangde Sonya Lama Chido Namibji Jido Sejan Tamchi Samo Demijin Kandai Sonya Rasen Deji Dimba Tosun Dana Dukan Amabji Abaji Shin Londe Mese Deji Agabde La Juji Tende Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa Tende Tam Chu Nangwa De Nyam De Yang Ne Nyam Zo Yong Tam Cha Re Nang Shon Chegai Tam Chu Zhe Din Ce Dam Mo La Pong Lo Te Da Zam Atim De La Din Rime De Ji Tam Chu Jia Ren Ji Su De Yang Ne Nyam De Zom Be Mo La Le Shu Wo Ta de Samba Churan Ka Ma La Yan Ne Sa Yin Chi De
So now we'll read it in English. Kye-ho, brothers and sisters with the karma, fortunate ones who seek liberation. Ma, what joy and happiness, good fortune of holy Dharma, as we raise this lamp that dispels darkness of ignorance. Let's go together to the blissful pure land of liberation. Taking the opportunity of this precious human life, which is more rare and meaningful than a wish-fulfilling jewel, to persevere in practice of Dharma, let us, masters and disciples, pray single-pointedly that without doubt we continue to do this together inseparably in all our lifetimes. Wherever we go, let's Guru and Dharma brothers and sisters never forget each other. Whatever we do, let's never forget profound holy Dharma. Whatever happens, let's have happiness and inner peace. Let's never forget these three methods. This year, may we enjoy happiness and joy, to ascend a path from happiness to happiness in this life. Let us promise that we will again and again gather together in this light of holy Dharma of temporary and permanent happiness. In dependence upon faith and pure bonds between master and disciples, prayers and words of truth, and practicing Dharma our whole lives, we pray to gather together again and again, to be greeted by a happy sunrise of holy Dharma.
La So Ola So Ani Tindri Ta Ti Yu De La Ani Mendas De Matang Ta Su Rin Do Ani Ta Be Man So Mo Da Cho Ni Ke Nang Ho Si Oh ya
So now let's do the mandala prayer and the concluding prayers. Let's put the text up for that.
Wonderful. Yeah, give me just one moment for the concluding prayer.
Rachel, it's not the concluding prayer, it's the 37 mandala offering. Om Penza Bumi Ahum She Yonso Takwa Wanchen Seke Sashi Om benzare ke ahu chi chare kuyu ke kowe iso re ke porira shalu papo lo zambo palanchu chanda menye luta lupa ngayap ta ngayap shin Yonden dan lam cho do jami nyen dan jami nyen ke da Rinpoche riwo pasam ke shing de je ye pa ma me pa ye lo to polo Rinpoche no bu Rinpoche Zemo Rinpoche Lembo Rinpoche Langbo Rinpoche Tacho Rinpoche Mabe Rinpoche Terchem ye pumba kewa ma tingwa ma lu ma karama meto ma tupe ma nangse ma ticha ma nye ma dawa rinpoche tu chole nambara gewe gense padami penjura kusum sopa ma changwa meba changshin yidongwa dingi Jinje zawe lama tamba gyabje Rinpoche kama ten sung choki sung chu samo zewe tangra ki yundo biwara ki wo tuje drowe tundo shesu sung shene chingi labdo so sa shi pichu chokshen me to cham rirab ling she nyinde gyamba Sangye Shinto Mide Biwa Ye Dukun Namda Shingla Chuparsho Edam Rana Menjala Puza Meka Samudra Sabaran Samaye Aho
David, I can sing this one if you, in the style that I had learned, if you wish. Rinpoche, if you
Okay,
wish.
sure. Please go ahead, Rachel. Yes.
Yeah.
Om Benza Bhumi Ahum. The earth is the golden ground, completely pure, full of beauty and power. Om Benza Reke Ahum. The circular iron mountain surrounds it completely. In the center is the letter Hum. Meru, the king of mountains. In the east, Purvavedya. In the south, Jambudipa. In the west, Apara Godanaya. In the north, Uttara Kuru. Beside them are Deha and Vidya, Kamara and Apakamara, Sata and Uttara Mantrina, Kurava and Karava. The jewel mountain, the wish-fulfilling trees, the wish-fulfilling cows, the harvest that needs no sowing, the precious wheel, the precious gem, the precious queen, the precious minister, the precious elephant, the precious horse, the precious general in the vase of great treasure, the goddess of beauty and the goddess of garlands, the goddess of song and the goddess of dance, the goddess of flowers and the goddess of incense, the goddess of light and the goddess of perfume, the sun and the moon and the precious umbrella, the royal banner victorious in all directions. There is all the bountiful wealth of gods and men, complete and flawless. I offer all of this to our most kind and precious root guru, Khenpo Karten Rinpoche, for his generous teaching of this profound dharma. All of this I offer. Please accept it with compassion for the benefit of beings. And having accepted it, please grant your blessings. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with flowers. The great mountain, four lands, sun and moon, seen as a Buddha land and offered thus. May all beings enjoy such pure lands. I offer without any sense of loss. The objects that give rise to my attachment, hatred, and confusion. My friends, enemies, and strangers, our bodies and enjoyments, please accept these and bless me to be released directly from the three poisons. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kamniryatayami.
Thank you. Tuji Chitama. Lasso. Anita, next is the dedication, page 102 from the Amitabha text. Maho Om Sar Sanje Nangwan Taye Ta Yesu Jobo Toje Jimbo Ta Yen De Simbai Tu Jing Tona Lai Sanje Sanje Ba Miang Ko Jiang De Jiang Om Sai Ba De Mi Ba Ye De Wa Jin Xie Xia Wei Xian Han De Da Jin De Ne Zin Pi Jin Ma Tai Jie Wa Xin Jie Ban Mai Ju Pai De Jin Nam De Xiang Don Xiu De Ge Da Ge Mo Lai Da Bai De Xiao Ju San Ji San Xin Tang Ji Jie Ge Min De Bai Xin Jie La De Shan 别万太平在这呀，万不得那呀所罕。求得家外世界公，从你做来的让。那个的生给撒拜，公求生来去拜。假如天班培觉解，给我心境空来我，如果三界托人界，给咱他们解的。那心就来面见见，真你大内操作的。 내 미안념도 변천드 사죄는 나의 천배 전마다 대화의 진든 제전지 진의 앞에 모가시에 대를 대라의 상지쇼 上觉道内集悉的这边多万的百修，看着那边各位相看是。 偏袒的外马伦中文接着是万的这讲座。 下边心的白的定见解，家国年节啦，所呀干嘛呀吧？家国动作黄河呀干嘛呀？家国这两节的干嘛呀？哦。 don de te ale sha bin so lai ma ge kan sa lai so wa Joy de ge che ren lai so lai te le dai xin jie lai so lai lai mai da wai me bai xin jie lo bai de lai me xiao bei de bai dang kan ya yo lai de jian zhong wai dai jian ma le zuo sai zhe bian ne ye de san jie sa lan wu bai so nan de ye kan jie zhen bai ni Kai ni nie bei dai nan pai jian jie gai nan ji bai lan chuan bai yin Sei bin zo le do wa do wa yo yan ba bi jian dan jian ban dan Kan de zang bo de yan de yan de da go jie ai se da lo jin 다신 심진 담제 로주선 로와라 신제 람도 소르 주람도 로와라 신제 람도 소르 람도 바스와 신제 람도 바이 시선 차와라 신제 람도 소 다소 남제 주당 템바에 제달 삼바 입진도 바다 내도게 소바데 지베 야 쉐와라 신제 람도 소 Zobo sanje zhubala, sedang nangden cewa ye, parde juba tamje gu. Nye wara xie waran ze de, ponglo memdra linjeng do, kache menjur sa xing. Tu sang gong sum jun menche, ji la chun per zha xi shou. Okay. To finish. Okay, I want to share with you today, very special. My garden, she gave to me ginger. Holiness picture, very special. She take this picture when she went visited Holiness. She just give it to me. She's here with me right now. I am very happy. Look there, picture. She take this picture and his room, meditation room. Ati kuparte ginger ke ngasi method dra ka dabo jar robashi deni amachi yore te ngala nang song te ni nang song je ngarang ka room ne ja chik ti jablo de yore same the picture the little bit different the behind me. This is for my room. So nice. Thank you, Jija. Can you put this on it? Thank you. Okay. Also, I forget one thing I want to share with you right now. Okay, I just share with you. Yesterday, we talk about the yesterday the control Lord in Thai and the 15th karma part, his son and my guru to me. This is the lineage I talked about yesterday. After the teaching, I called Tony, my very good friend, student. He make the card very easy. I will share you right now and my screen here. Where is it? Okay, here. Go to there. Oh no. What happened? Oh God. What is this? Oh. Okay, I got it here. I have to close this. Also, I need to close. Okay, I got it now. Okay, here, 1 second. Very, very fast here. I go there. You see? Okay. This is the Jangkong counter. This one is the Jangkong counter. This is the 15th karma part. This is his son, second Jangkong counter. This is my guru, Sanjay Tinjin. This is in Jangkong counter Lord in Thai. This is the 15th karma part. His name is Kharchap Dorje. This is his son, second Jangkong counter, Padin Chinchuzer. This is Sanjay Tinjin. Okay. Okay. To Jie Chama. Any my board, maybe the master, he's there.
I'm here in Rinpoche.
Okay. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Rinpoche, for committing for the last year, almost every single Saturday, to bestow these precious teachings. And Jampa Tarchin, David La, thank you so much for committing so much of your time to making these teachings accessible to everybody. Though my own other commitments and my own laziness prevented me from attending most of these teachings, I was there for the first one and the last one. And so I'm grateful for that. And I'm also just extraordinarily grateful that everyone else had the opportunity to attend. I'm sure some of you were able to attend every single teaching. So that's just something to really rejoice in. And also just thank you so much to the Tibetan Sangha. Maybe we conclude after the Sangha meeting. We can recite Rinpoche's long life prayer after the All Sangha meeting at the very, very end. Does that work? Thank you for the reminder. Thank you so much to the Tibetan community, the Tibetan Sanghas of Rinpoche, wherever you are, whether you're in India or whether you're in the East Coast or the West Coast of the United States or somewhere else. Rinpoche really wanted to express gratitude, and on behalf of all of us, we know how committed and dedicated you are to the practice and to the study, up at all hours of the night to attend teachings and continue the practice of Amitabha and so much more. So we really are so grateful that you're part of our wider Sangha. You're really the heart of it. And as we kind of move into the all Sangha meeting now, we're going to be electing board members, new board members, some returning and some new. I myself have been serving as the president for the last 2 years, and I'm stepping down. And I just, if it's okay, Rinpoche, I just want to say a few things about that.
Sure.
So again, I'm just really extraordinarily grateful for the opportunity to have served. It's been really humbling to be part of the kind of lineage of the MDC board presidents, and just know how much work it really is. And so I feel like I am following in the footsteps of really amazing presidents, Rachel and Heidi and Shana and Diana and Bob, and I'm sure I've forgotten some, but I know many of you have served multiple terms. Who's that?
Jerry was the first.
And Jerry, yes, I thought maybe he was, I couldn't remember. So I feel like my contribution was extremely insufficient compared to the work that all of you have done, but whatever benefit I did do was really independence upon the other board members that I've served with the last 2 years, Wink and Pam and Tom and Karma Peldon, and just everybody who's been part of the group. And of course, Rachel again, and Shana, who supported me during the first months of the pandemic as VP. So it's just, and Tony as well, working so hard from afar. And I just could not have done what little I did do without all of you. So thank you so much. And I'm very happy to be passing off the responsibilities to the people who are nominated. And the last thing I'll just say is that I think in my memory, I think it's the first time we're going to be having a Tibetan on the board, but I could be wrong about that. So Pema Tsomo, assuming that she accepts the nomination, which I think is a foregone conclusion, but I'm really, really, really happy that that Pema is going to be serving as well. And so I think it's high time that we had that representation on our Tibetan Buddhist Sangha's board. So anyway, that's all I think I want to say now. And then if there's any other board members that want to say anything, then they should have a chance to speak, and then we can begin the elections. I don't think that it's necessary to take a break, Rinpoche, because I think
yes, yeah, we can get going
into
to continuous maybe meeting, the board meeting. Okay.
So if there are any other board members who would like to speak, or anybody else from the non-board members who would like to speak before we do the elections, then that would be wonderful. But thank you all.
Aaron, I just wanted to speak for all the board. We profited so much from your leadership, from your long time devotion to the Dharma and your expert knowledge of the Dharma and understanding how it fits into the Western life. And I just wanted to say personally, it was a great pleasure working with you, and I learned a great deal, and you have the combination of devotion and humility that we could all aspire to. And it was just a total pleasure, and we appreciate your leadership and your continuing presence in the Sangha very, very much.
And if I could thank everyone for your generosity. This is Pam, I'm the assistant treasurer, and all that you've contributed through the year has allowed us to put a new roof on Rinpoche's house, which is the Dharma Center as well. This year, that was a very major accomplishment, and we really appreciate everybody's giving for that, as well as your ongoing giving to support Rinpoche, the translations of his teaching through David, and also the ongoing maintenance and upkeep of the house, and to all of those who have contributed to their time and effort, and to all of you for being involved in the Dharma. That's another very important contribution. Thank you so much.
Before you go on the meeting, I would like to say in Tibetan to thank you, Rinpoche, from us as a Tibetan. Rinpoche, ani Rinpoche la loma tsangme tsabshune, ani tandapadu Rinpoche chone, ani duzu yu ringbu la masiba konge zeme gitone ngozula, ani sumchu tang kalob lamde yang zeta ze shimbe thola tare. Ani Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa sungchu di ani yurungbu chikne ani chasa sungrab chasa je dos ani kalop sungchu kati zene tare yin thamadi tidis ani lektup chungwa dila ani manju chuto ling loma changme chapshune rumbuche chola nyingyu ne kati lame tu che shindu chung rumbuche kati shindu che chinlap che song ani maung bala yene mutu ani ya kati sungchu ani chuna ani ngos jene ani ngozula wangnong thi sumgi tamar samo ani yang tu ani thoba ta nyurdu thobe ani so melam shuye katin chen
tuji che be man samo tuji che inda yi.
I'd like to also say thank you, of course, Rinpoche, incredible teachings brought to us so easily in our homes for all of these months. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, all of my Sangha members all around the world, in Taiwan, in Singapore, in India, and even Scotland. Thank you, Nick, for joining for the whole teachings and this whole retreat from Scotland. Thank you. And also just want to acknowledge all of the kind devotion and volunteering from both Ginger in the garden and her help as garden coordinator.
She's here.
And thank you, Ginger, and also to Keith, who does not hold any specific position, but he is your tireless friend, always there anytime you call, and they're helping with so many things at your home, which is also the Dharma Center. So thank you to Keith.
Yes, Keith and Ginger, thank you, yes. And Tony also, yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for those wonderful additional comments, everybody, and very important things that I overlooked. So I think we'll just go ahead and start the board meeting. So this is our annual All Sangha board meeting, which means that everyone is welcome to stay and listen, and we'll vote at the end for new board members. And David, if there's anything that you feel like you want to translate, you can just jump in and do that for the Tibetans. But there's really only 2 items on the board agenda. I just want to make sure we do a roll call to see that we have our board members here. And then Rinpoche, if you wouldn't mind actually starting with just as we usually do, with just the refuge, and then we can end with dedication. So we'll do a roll call, and then we'll I was supposed to prepare like a little summary of all the activities that we've done over the past year, but I didn't. So we're just going to test my powers of memory, and between the board members and myself, and we can just list off some of the things that we have accomplished over the past year and some things that are still in process of being accomplished. And then we'll do our elections. That's the second thing on the agenda, and then we'll close. Does that sound good, Rinpoche?
Yes, good.
So if you wouldn't mind just leading us in refuge prayer.
Sanje Judan Sojen Chonala, Sancho Border, Dane Jason Che, Dagi Jinso, Jibet, Sonam Jin, Dola Princess, Sanje de Bai Show, Sinji did a danger chair, Don Rawali Show, did a thought the Mundash, 휴고냠니 똥바리쇼.
So I guess this can also just be introductions for those of you who don't know us. I'm Pema Tsotim, I'm the outgoing board president. And then do we have our treasurers here? You could just introduce yourselves on the mic.
I'm Pam. I'm the assistant treasurer.
And Tom was been treasurer and now is off mute.
Vice president, of course.
That's me.
Okay, that's Wink. And then we have our secretary here as well. Could you pop on the mic and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm here. My name's Karma Palden or Miles McBreen, and for some reason my video option is not working. Otherwise, I'd play some video. But yeah, I've been secretary and write down all the board meeting minutes.
Wonderful, thank you. And then, am I forgetting somebody on the board? I think that's the primary board members. And then we have Rachel is here as well. She's a non-board member, but she's super active. And then Tony as well, who's taking over for Rachel doing the website. And is that right? And the newsletter, right? Okay, wonderful. So then this past year...
And Ginger has been the volunteer garden coordinator.
Yes, and we mentioned that, and Ginger, thank you so much for the garden looks just incredible. Thank you so much. So this past year has been actually, given the pandemic and not meeting in person very much, we've actually been quite active, which is wonderful. A lot of developments have taken place at the Dharma Center location. We already mentioned that with the incredible generosity during extremely difficult times for so many people financially, we managed to put that new roof on the center and Rinpoche's home, which was something that we were wanting to do for a long time, but the time was actually right during this last year. So that was a huge accomplishment. So again, thank you to everybody who contributed, either financially or just putting in the prayers that it would be accomplished. And we've also we've renovated the garden, and which looks really wonderful. We had talked about maybe building a temporary, like a tent or something, or putting up a tent on the side lot to have outdoor practices that were more covered, and we're still talking about that, but that hasn't been done yet. We also have installed a camera system for Rinpoche so he can feel safe, and sometimes people come late at night to ask for things, and so that's just an extra measure of security. We're also going to be having a front gate put right at the top of the steps that go up to the porch.
That's an update. The gate has just been finished, and I just got a note this week that it's being shipped this week. So, yeah.
Thank you, and that's great news. It's going to look beautiful. It has deer. It's an iron gate that has deer on the front, which is a nice symbol of the Dharma. So that, and also of Pacific Grove, so it works two ways. And so that will be installed then, hopefully within the coming weeks. And we did resume in-person practices. We had a fire puja outside. We had a ceremony for His Holiness's, I want to say it was his birthday, but maybe it was his Nobel Peace Prize Day. Yes, I think which corresponded with the passing of a really important sponsor for Rinpoche. And then we also, I believe last summer, we had the blessing of the waters, but I don't know if and there was some people that came. No, we didn't. There was winter we didn't do, but I'm pretty sure we might have done it in the summer.
Yeah, we did.
We did, right? Yes. So
we also did the blessing of the butterflies.
That's right. Thank you. I had remembered and forgotten. So Rinpoche again got to bless the welcoming the butterflies, and that was actually quite well attended. So that was a lovely opportunity to come together in person.
And it really worked this year.
Yeah, have they come back?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I didn't hear the update. Good. So are there any other things that maybe that are significant? Well, of course, we've had the teachings going this whole last year, the Gampopa teachings. We've continued to have many practices online on Wednesday nights, on Saturdays, of course, on Monday evenings. And I want to thank Rachel for being such a tireless person there, always there doing the Monday night teachings. And then also many of the other board members have been present as well to kind of help host. I have not been there so much, but thank you to everybody who has been coming. And
thank you to Tony, who's jumped in many times, especially on the day that I forgot it was Monday. And thank you for all of the others who jumped in to host on Zoom. This is an incredible platform. Thank you, Zoom. I mean, as much as we all wish we could be in person, without this tool, we would not be able to all come together in this way. So I'm just really thankful to the technology and to the technology Lama, who decided to go from being his usual humble self to learning how to host and prepare Zoom teachings this whole past 2 years. Thank you.
And he's not here right now, but I'd also like to thank Michael, the piano player.
Yes.
At the very beginning of the transition to Zoom, I feel was a very good technician to get us on the right track to be able to broadcast live.
yes,
So thank you, Michael.
true. And then, of course, Rinpoche was able to do a month-long retreat in December, which was a very important opportunity for Rinpoche, but also for all of us, because we benefit by extension when Rinpoche is working on doing his own practice intensively and recharging his spiritual batteries, and serves as a model to us to remember to do retreat and to focus on our practice. So that was a very good opportunity, and hopefully, my hope is that that will be something that he can continue to do every year. Maybe it's in December, maybe it's a different month, but at least once a year, take time to focus on his own practice commitments. And then, so now that we have finished the teachings for the Gampopa Lam Chok Rinchen Trengwa, Rinpoche has said that he's going to be taking a break for a while and rest. He's very tired from all of the commitments of teaching, and teaching in person is intense, but teaching on Zoom, anybody who works a lot on Zoom knows how draining it is. I am a teacher, and I would much rather be in the schoolhouse all day with my students in person than teaching on Zoom. It was so much more draining. So Rinpoche's commitment to continuing to teach over Zoom for a whole year is really remarkable, and so he deserves a break. So Saturday morning teachings are going to go to sleep for a while, and we'll continue to practice on our own if we can, and then when Rinpoche is ready, then we can talk about another teaching series when he feels rested, or maybe we've talked also about resuming meditations, either in Zoom or in person, whenever it's possible, on Saturdays. So that's another thing that's possible as well. The board will need to discuss that. So if there's anything else, now would be a good time to add in. Otherwise, we'll go to the new elections for the new board members. Rinpoche, is there anything that I forgot for activities?
No, I think that's good. Yeah, I think go to the new elections, new board, and start.
Of course, Rinpoche also was giving a lot of teachings to the Tibetan community, the Tibetan Sangha, which I think was happening on Wednesdays quite a bit, right? Yes, so there was that as well. And then the Facebook live streams, which were continuing for a while as well. So lots and lots of activity. So now I'm going to need a little help here. I don't have notes. Maybe Wink can help out, but correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm stepping down. I know that. Rinpoche, or I think the nominations are as follows. So I think Karma Palden to continue as secretary for the next term. And Karma Law, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I accept the nomination.
Wonderful, thank you. And then we have Pam and Tom have both been nominated to continue for another term as treasurers. Is that correct?
Correct.
And do you both accept the nominations?
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And then Pema Tsomo La has been nominated to serve as vice president for this term. Is that correct, Pamela?
Yes, and I humbly accept the nomination.
Looks so wonderful. And then last but certainly not least, David Winkler has been nominated to serve as president for this year, this term, 2-year terms for all. Is that correct? You are muted, sir. You are still muted, sir. Wink. 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 You're muted. What?
Sorry, we just all of a sudden, my computer decided to go into another realm and we can't get our screen back. So yes, I'm very happy to serve. Sorry about that. Thank you, Rachel.
And you've accepted the nomination, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so then what I would just say is, since we all are going to vote, then let's just go, I'll go down the list again and we'll just do thumbs up on the screen or in the chat if you would accept, if you vote for those people. So to vote for David Winkler as president, please show a sign of support. All in favor? I'm seeing thumbs up. And all opposed, thumbs down. Just change the screen, make sure there's no thumbs down. Okay, wonderful. All right, it's unanimous that Wink will be our new president, so that's wonderful. And for vice president, all in favor of approving the vote for Pema Tsomo to be vice president, please show a thumb up. And thank you. And all opposed, please put your thumb down. And who would dare? And good. Okay, so it's unanimous at this point. I think that Pema Tsomo will be our new vice president. So thank you. And then for treasurer, first Tom, please, if you are in favor of Tom returning as treasurer, please put your thumb up. And all opposed, please put a thumb down. Okay, it is unanimous. Welcome Tom back to the board. Thank you. And again for Pam, please put a thumb up if you approve, if you're in favor. Thank you. And a thumb down if you are opposed, please. Okay, wonderful. We have Pam returning then. That's been approved. And finally for secretary, Karma Pelden, Miles La, please, if you are in favor of having him come back, please put a thumb up. Okay, wonderful. And if you are opposed, please put a thumb down. I'm seeing no downward thumbs, so it is unanimous once again that Karma Pelden will be returning as secretary. So thank you so much. All right, so that concludes the formalities. We have a new board. And also, did I forget anybody? And then Tony, so then Tony will be coming on as the newsletter person and the website person, but we don't have to do votes for that. It's not a board position, as far as I know.
I have a short memory. Did we get Link in there? Did we nominate Link?
Yes, Wink I did first.
Okay, yes, it's a short-term memory loss, sorry.
That's all right, that's all right. I went in reverse order, named the nominations, and then in order when we went for the votes. So, and then, so Rachel will be stepping back but you're still going to be hosting the practices, is that correct?
Yes, I'll host Zoom, but I thank you so much, Tony. I don't know if you are there with your camera on. Thank you so much for taking over
Yes.
the duties of producing the weekly newsletter and maintaining the website. But it's not a small amount of time, and I really, really appreciate it for this upcoming year. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. And Ginger is going to be returning as our garden coordinator as well. So thank you so much, Ginger, for making this beautiful space for our Lama Rinpoche and for our Sangha when we get to come.
He's also today the MDC photographer.
The official photographer as well. So wonderful. And of course, Karma Pelden has done a lot of beautiful photography.
Karma Pelden and Ginger, yeah. Thank you
wonderful.
so much.
Thank you both. And so I think that will conclude. We just need to do a dedication prayer, and then we should do Rinpoche's long life prayer as well. Oh, yes, actually, thank you. Thank you, Bob. Can we do a quick, Tom, can you give a quick summary treasurer's report before we do the long life and dedication prayer?
Well, we lost you there. Did you?
Can you do a quick summary, treasurer's summary? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Oh, yeah, I didn't actually prepare it, but we just did it for the board last week. We raised and spent about $20,000 plus on the roof. So that was the amazing event of 2021. And we end up the year about where we started, about $4,000 in reserves. Where we started before we raised all that money for the roof and where we end up afterwards. So the financial status of the organization is sound.
I would like to say a few words, if that's okay.
Please, Pema.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Rinpoche, for tirelessly teaching us very profound, precious Dharma all the time, all along. And then you board members, if I say name, I might miss someone. So for all of you, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for serving board member and serving Rinpoche and helping in any way to get us all the Zoom practice and everything. So thank you so much. And and it is very humbling to say by accepting the vice president post, because I know nothing about the board work, or I've never been a board member or for any kind of like that. I'm just a mere student of Rinpoche, but I'm honored to be of service to serve Rinpoche and to serve everyone as a board member, and I would try my best to be of little help or little service to Rinpoche and everyone. So thank you so much.
If I could say a few words too, I finally got my computer tamed, but I just wanted to say how honored I am for this election, and how honored I am to be part of this Sangha. I think we have a really exciting time ahead of us, because we have our wonderful Zoom Lama, who not only is able to bring himself into this weird Western world that we live in, that's changing all the time, but that he is such a master at distilling the Dharma and at teaching. And he's so committed to teaching. There's so few Sanghas that have a teacher who are producing prayers that we're reciting in practice, and who can cite his own work and helping us interpret the work of the masters in the past. And I feel so privileged to be in the same physical space as you, Rinpoche. And we here in the local Sangha, I think, have a lot of work to do, because we used to have a much bigger Sangha before the pandemic hit us. And I really want to be reaching out to all the people in the Monterey Bay Area to start bringing them back into practice together whenever we can. Zoom is wonderful because it gives us this pervasive effect across the planet, and Rinpoche is taking advantage of that. But we all know that it's a special kind of intense and rewarding experience to be in the same room, doing the same sadhana together, and learning the same things, the same lessons together. So we really want to work hard. The whole board really wants to work hard to both redevelop our Sangha here in the Monterey Bay area and to integrate it with Pema Tsomo's help, with an emerging global Sangha. We want to make both sides of our Sangha feel like being part of MDC is a really important and rich part of their lives. And I'm really excited about working with Rinpoche and the board and all the past presidents and all the talent that we have here to actually bring even better fruition to our potential here at the MDC. Thank you so much for placing your confidence in me.
May I say something here from this moment? And it's first of all, I'd like to thank you, Rinpoche. I'm going to say in my broken English, and then second of all is this incredible we have the bad things about the coronavirus, but then it turned into a great opportunity. This is incredible Zoom. And we don't have to go anywhere. We don't have to do anything. And Rinpoche appears to the screen and gives us this teaching. Incredible. And right in your home. It's so easy, so blessing. And this is, I wanted to say thank you, Rinpoche. And also the Manjushri Dharma Center Board of Directors and members. And then third is Pema Tsomola, and giving us this group and Rinpoche together. And somehow this pandemic turned into a golden time for me. And hopefully this pandemic will dissolve and go away, and everybody can join together in their life. And I would love to have a Rinpoche in the front of my body, and have a Rinpoche's present. And we miss that. But we are all Sangha members very, very, very lucky to have a profound teacher who can give endless teachings, and so simple, so easy to hear, easy to listen, and we get it. And it taught us so much. Rinpoche, I know Rinpoche 15 years ago, but last 2 years, finally I found the greatest teacher I met in my life. And so this is an opportunity I missed it 12 years. I lost it. I didn't find it. I didn't see it. But now I do. So we all have to put our minds together and get the teachings from Rinpoche. And he is just amazing teacher. And we don't want to lose that. And so everybody, this Dharma is the only path we have. Rinpoche always teaches us. So please put ourselves together and get the teaching from Rinpoche and practice them continuously. Like Rinpoche say, practice, practice, practice. And I'm trying my best not to waste my time. Rinpoche, Tuji. Thank you all the Dharma Center people and putting all this together. Thank you so much. Tuji Rinpoche.
Tujiche Serendo Mangune Tane, Tachuran Pe Tangayat Garan. I don't know how to say it in English. So I am very happy to be the how to say, give the teaching. I have the only this little bit experience from my root gurus, my lineage, you know. I am not qualified the best teacher, but I tried my best. I am also very happy when I give the Dharma teacher. I always say to you, people think that he is the teacher. He always gives the teachings to others. But when I talk, first I check my body, speech, and mind, what I'm doing here first. This is really benefit for me. I want to say thank you, everyone. And also, many of my students, my friends say, you have a very, 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 very sweet Sangha. Very sweet Sangha. This is the, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, one lady from Boston, she came here to retreat. And the one lady from the San Francisco, they both say we have the retreat in the Khmer Nunnery Monastery, the Khmer Beach Monastery. This both of say, I am very lucky to have you, California, very nice Sangha, and also especially I meet the Tibetan people from Poland. I think this is my karma. It's good karma. I am very happy. I want to say thank you, everyone.
And also, I'd like to add one more thing here. When I met Rinpoche first time in Poland, our old small Purgang, we call it, it's our house. And Rinpoche came teaching to there. Now, I did share once or twice, maybe in the Tibetan communities, but I'm sharing this today again, and I never forgotten. Rinpoche done teaching, and he's living in the outside. And Rinpoche turned and back, look at it, and he says, you people are lucky in the Tibet. We have to go months and months carrying our stuff and the food and the clothing to go search for teachings. And you are lucky, you have a teacher coming to you. And at that moment, then it stuck on me, never forgotten. And I'm still seeing Rinpoche's body, how he turned. And I'm seeing the place. And at that moment, it just woke me up. And so we have a profound teacher. So we don't want to lose him. And we need to do our best for his wishes. And a long life, Rinpoche, kuze shapetan basho.
Tujiche, aja, tujiche. Okay.
I think this is actually a very good opportunity now, what you've just said, to all pray for Rinpoche's long life. So, Rachel, do you have that long life prayer? Can you throw that up on the screen? And would it be all right if I read it in English this time, David Law? I would like that opportunity.
Sure, perfectly fine with me.
Thank you.
Pande tsawe lama rinpoche dagi chiworo peme densho la kati chenpe kone jeso ne kurson tuke ngojo tse tu so. Omso te ramjan gyamne gyatsu chinla tang dengi tendre luwa mepe tu kebara chime tseye hatso tsewa yeshen chingchen tengire popke gwen chenle karken kama pe kasu donga chazo menga ju Mome sewe lamda nyamdo ki yunde tseka yetere shakte Kange sangsam doje rangkam su lekwara tenje lungdo tambeju Sheju tuzam gombe dude ye saten gembe chenle tachin shu Pande lame nambara tabala keji samya longta mikesh Chinze lekwara tongwe megu ki lame chenla semla juba shu Kewa kundo yangda lama tang jeme chuki bela longchuchi Satan lamke yunde razo ne pande lame ko panyu to shu
O glorious and precious root guru, please take the seat of lotus at my crown, caring for me in your great kindness. Please grant attainments of body, speech, and mind. Om Swasti. May the blessings of infinite seas of our places of refuge, the force of the two truths' infallible interdependence, and especially the hosts of deities of immortal well-being, now rain down the magnificent splendor of their wisdom and power of longevity. The Lord of the dance of all victors' enlightened activity is Karmapa. Your unquenchable thirst for the inner essence of his tradition's doctrines of discourse, tantra's great seal, great perfection, and pith instructions has brought the qualities of signs on the spiritual path, your experience and realization, to their full flowering. May your life be firm. May the wisdom mysteries of your body, speech, and mind be as perfectly firm as a Vajra's own immutable elements. May your gatherings of disciples who study and practice the sacred teachings of scripture and realization by listening, contemplation, and meditation cover the earth. May your activity reach its ultimate consummation. May I never for an instant develop wrong views of the glorious Guru's life and deeds, but with devotion, seeing all they do as excellent, may the Guru's blessing enter my mind. In all lives, may I never be parted from qualified Gurus, enjoy the glory of Dharma, and by perfecting all qualities of the paths and stages, quickly attain the state of the glorious Guru.
다시 심진 담지 로주선 로와라 신제랍도 서로 출람도 로와라 신제랍도 서로 란트바 서버라 신제랍도 서로 출바이 시선자와라 신제랍도 서 다소 남제 주당 템바에 제다라 선바이 진도바 네도기소 바드지베 초 니와라 시와라 신제랍도 서 보슬먼다 린징도 끝이 문제를 사신디 투상공선 유민지 지라 준비 자시 내가 소양 같은 타다시 tun지 지다 번들지 마당 주신 주버로다 인지 삼배도 공도 다시 쇼 땡배 빠져 라마샤베 땡진 집에 사던 용나 차 땡배 진다 같은 조와지 땡바 요네 배 자시 쇼
May all beings' minds turn towards the Dharma. May the Dharma become the path. May the path be clear of deception. May deception arise as innate wisdom.
Like so, thank you, Che, Tama, Tuji Che, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rinpoche, and thank you, Jampa.
Tuji Che, Bemala.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, my board.
Thank you, everybody. Yes, to the new.
Tujeche, Khenpo Karten, Tujeche, Kadinche, Silonjeso, Tujeche, Kadinche, Tujeche, everyone. Tashikele.
Tuji
Karten lami tuche Rinpoche, tuche Karten lami tuche chenlap che son, kuze shabe temba show, Karten che.
Tuji Nangaja, Tuji Che.
Rinpoche, kuze shabe temba show. And thank you, David, Rachel, and everyone, and Pema Samula. Thank you so much.
Tuji Amayishila Tuji Che.
Yes.
Tujiche. Thank you so much.
Tuji
Ani children number some to chena. Yash enjoying the way.
Thank you so much, David. You are incredible translator for Rinpoche. And I'm just wondering this morning how Rinpoche and you met each other, and they say so grateful for. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Karten lami tuche. All the Sangha members, thank you. So nice to meet you, everyone.
Yes, it was thanks to Heidi getting in touch with me to come interpret for Rinpoche at the first talk he gave at the Center for Spiritual Awakening, which was some 10 years ago or so. Yeah.
He's my translator. Also, he's my first my friend. Sabatasi. Yeah, in Montreal. I'm a very, very good friend. We have become. Thank you, Sambala. I think we have very good karma.
Rinpoche has really been like a father to me at times, I have to say.
Thank you, Samba.
Thank you so much, David. Couldn't do this without you.
Yes, thank you, David. You literally make it possible for us to learn these very profound and impossible to put into word concepts that are non-concepts. It just, you do such a beautiful job. And without you, really, the Westerners here, we could not benefit as we do. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Any happy Sunday, happy every day is happy day. Okay, thank you. Tama, Kadiche.
Enjoy your break.
See you very soon. Okay.
Thank you.
Rinpoche, Kadiche, Tuche Karten lami tuche. Champala tuche so tuche.